JP,
Whoa.
another day in paradise. Another day in paradise. Life just, I'm telling you, man, life gets, you have a choice the way you see life, right? And life gets no better every day, right? We just got through talking about this, right? Every day you have to be reinventing yourself. Because when you do, it's just refreshing, man. Welcome my host, John Brenkus, the great brain of sports science. We're back again for the No Excuses presents the Ray Lewis Show, and we're gonna have some fun today. I mean, JB, we're gonna have some real fun today.
We're gonna have a blast today. One thing that I want everyone to keep in their mind is what makes you move. What actually moves you? And I don't just mean emotionally. I mean physically. What makes you get up from the couch, go over to the refrigerator, get something out? That idea about what actually propels you forward. Our guest today is an expert at propelling you forward in life and creating that motivation and making sure that deep within your brain is the impetus to move.
That is so good. And me and this next guest has been friends for a very, very long time. And I cannot wait to introduce you guys. I cannot wait to bring him on. I have been using his workout so many years. One of my secret tools. Meet the great Body by Jake Steinfeld. What is going on, my friend? How are you?
What's up, fellas? What's up, man? Ray, John, how you doing? I can tell you, boys, let's get that music back on. I was just sitting here like this.
Play that music again.
The three of us.
Cue that up. We're like dancing and bobbing.
Boom. What's up, man?
Hey,
here we go.
What's up?
Here we go. We got it going.
We got the music going. See, you got to start with the right groove. You got to start with the right groove.
Especially, man, you know what? You know, a white, Jewish, muscular guy. It's not, very few of us out there. And I got the bar mitzvah moves, Ray. You know, it's like this. It's like this. It's the 70s, baby. You know, it's the 70s.
Old school always wins. It always wins.
Hey, it's
Listen, Jake, man, Jake, thank you for coming on. I am really excited to have you on today, man. Wow. I want to get into a lot because we have a lot to discuss. I will not hold you long, but Jake, let's jump into your latest things. What's moving for Jake? What are you doing in your world? I wanted to first and foremost tell you, and you know this, I have used your workouts for at least 2 decades, right? And I've integrated them into my workouts, and I have stacks of them still to this day, man, just piled up in my log of video workouts. And what got Jake going in that direction? Help the world find out more about Body by Jake. Yeah.
Well, listen, first of all, Ray, it's always great to be with you. You know, we go back a long way. We talk a lot. I'm so proud of what you've been able to accomplish and the way you've kept your head up. And, the whole idea of no excuses kind of, blends into my life of don't quit. I take you back a couple of seconds. I was a very overweight kid, had a bad stutter growing up. Born in Brooklyn, New York. My dad bought me a set of weights at 13 years old, and it changed my life. Not only did the weights build my body, but it built my confidence and self-esteem. And, when and I know you talk about this a lot, John talks about this a lot. When you have confidence and you have self-esteem, it's amazing to see what you can accomplish. And man, oh man, I started standing up a little bit straighter, started feeling good about myself, right? The girls started to recognize you in 7th grade. It's a big thing. And I immediately went to, my goal was I wanted to become Mr. America. That was it, man. And I went to college upstate New York. You guys know Cornell University?
Oh, yeah. Of
course. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. I went to Cortland down the street. So,
I love it. That was a great setup.
Well, of course, see, no one knows Cortland, but everybody knows Cornell. So I start with that, and then I go, great. Everyone thinks, wow, smart guy.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. Down the street. Where it snowed literally from the first day you get up to school, not too conducive to walk around in your gold lame posing trunks and 18 inches of snow. And I had this moment. I'm a big believer in life is about moments. And we all have dreams. We all have dreams. And sometimes a lot of us don't fulfill our dreams because when we try to share them, and sometimes it's the people closest to you that seem to be the most negative. And and think about this, guys. It's not that they're being negative like your parents, that they want to hurt you. They just don't want to see you get hurt. So this moment happened. I'm upstate New York. My mom is kind of checking on me every single day. You know, I was the first one in my family to ever go to college. My mom and dad never went to school. No one in their family ever went to school. I'm the oldest of four. So this was a big moment. Yeah. And it just wasn't working for me, man. I was never a student. And I finally got up enough courage when my mom called, was asking about poli-sci and English classes. And I said, Ma, I'm going to go to California to become a bodybuilder. Silence on the phone, fellas.
It had to be silent.
And all of a sudden, I hear, Herbie, my dad's name, pick up the phone and talk to your kid. I'm putting my head in the oven. And it was one of those moments, once again, that bus ride from upstate New York to Baldwin, Long Island, which is where we lived. I finally expressed my dream. And things were whirling around in your head. And, you know, when we have these dreams, you know, it's you have to buy in 1,000%. And I was bought in 1,000% of what I wanted to do. I had the conversation. I had a girlfriend who told me you're never going to make it. My friends all said, you're out of your mind. You're going to be, it's never going to work for you. My mom and dad were cool. They said, look, get it out of your system. Come back home. Your bed will be made for you. You go back to college. I left 18 years old. I was in L.A. Some great stories there. I know our time is kind of tight, but I'll cut to.
Oh, you're good.
I entered the Mr. Southern California contest, right? 1978. And
I was 3 years old.
Easy does it. I was 9. So junior Southern Cal. And no, not really. And I read all the muscle magazines. Everybody said, eat 18 eggs and 24 chickens a day, and you too could become Mr. America. I will only tell you I clucked a lot, and it didn't happen for me because the guy that beat me was on steroids. Now, this is 1978, and I said, I got to L.A. when I still say the dinosaurs roamed the earth. So Arnold and Lou Ferrigno, Robbie Robinson, all the big bodybuilders, man, Serge Nubret, they came to life in the gym for me. All the magazines came to life. And here I was. And I was so disappointed because in order to compete professionally, and John, you probably know a lot about this as well, you have to take steroids. And look, it's common knowledge today. It's not, it's one of those things. But for me, I wait a second. No one talked about it in the magazines. Right. And I had to make a decision, guys, at 18 years old. And Ray, I know you have kids. John, I don't know if you have kids yourself, but my kids, we've always talked about since they were little about decision making. And I've always said to my kids, if you have to think about something too long, probably something you shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And I will tell you guys, honestly, the reason why I never put a needle in my own battissimo is because I was afraid. I was afraid to put a needle. Listen, when growing up, the school nurse would give you the TB test, right? That little 4-prong thing that right? Remember, in your forearm, I'd faint at that. Forget about me putting a needle in my own battissimo. So I had to make a decision that I knew I wasn't going to become Mr. America.
Yeah.
I love working out. I love what the weights did for me, right? Life is about moments. I didn't want to go back to New York a loser, though, right? Because remember, my friends all said you're never going to make it. I had a girlfriend who said you're never going to make it. And I decided that I was going to stay. Didn't know what I was going to do. Right place, right time guys. It was 1979. I'm kind of bouncing in a bar at night, right? Doing what every good musclehead does. Bouncing in a bar at night, working out in the morning, catching rays during the day. And I'm sitting out in my apartment complex in Studio City, California, and an actress comes over to me and he says, hey, you know, I've seen you out at the pool a bunch of times, and we introduce ourselves. She goes, hey, you know, I like you, but I don't want to look like you. And I said, okay, that's fair. She said, you know, I'm getting ready to do this Club Med commercial. I'm wondering if you could help me with a workout. And she looked pretty good, guys. I'm just telling you. And she explained that she had to wear a bikini. She was not confident enough to wear it in front of a lot of people on a set. And could you help me? So she said, how much is it going to cost if you come to give me a workout? And I go, I don't know. Just give me gas money. I had my 1977 white Camaro with Jake 77 on the license plate. Always kept a very low profile, fellas. Yeah. Very important.
I had a white Camaro. Love it.
Entrepreneurship 101, right? And so I came up with this workout, literally, because if you remember, too, 1978, the late 70s, beginning of 1980, women were very intimidated by using weights. They thought they were going to get big muscles. Yeah. So what I did is I improvised with a broomstick, a towel, 2 cans of Mama's tomato paste, right? Simple. Body weight training, guys, right? Resistance training. This is not very new. It's been around for a long time.
Right.
And it was a 30-minute workout I put together. I love training, but I was never the guy that used to hang around the gym. Got into the gym, hit it hard, and I left, looked forward to the next day. And this actress gave me her address, went to her boyfriend's house. She said, could you train me at my boyfriend's house in Beverly Hills? No problem. Drove to Beverly Hills, knocked on the door. Now, if you weren't on the cover of Musclehead Digest, I didn't know who you were. Guy answers the door, turns out to be Francis Ford Coppola. And wow. I just looked at him and I thought, this dude could use a workout too. You know? And
you were right.
And they started going to parties, and people started saying to this actress, you look great. What are you doing? So this guy, Jake, comes to the house. He's got this broomstick, a towel, and a chair. He's pretty funny. It's a 30-minute workout. He eats too much because I will tell you guys, I had no dough, and they had a great fridge. So after the workout was over, man, I just, sit down and eat.
Yeah.
And now remember, there were no cell phones back in the day.
Right.
So, old school. So people started to say, this is a great idea. What's his phone number? Well, maybe you guys know, you're a bunch younger than me, but when you moved, you had to list your phone number in the phone book. Right. And if you didn't do that, you had an unlisted phone number. Well, listen, Greg, you know this. One thing about Hollywood is if you're good and people want to get a hold of you and they can't, they seem to want you more.
Absolutely.
And it became this mystique of, who is this guy? You got to get him. Now, all of a sudden.
Fast forward to now then, because how many videos have Jake put out?
Oh no! Well, listen, but hang on. So all of a sudden on my little answer machine, I'm getting phone messages from Steven Spielberg, Harrison Ford, Priscilla Presley, Bette Midler, Warren Beatty, Barbra Streisand, all these people. Now, I tell you those names because what I started to work these folks out, travel with them. I trained Harrison for Raiders and Temple of Doom, and I've known him for 42 years now. I mean, these guys have become big brothers and friends to me. But I learned the greatest lesson of all time. Mm-hmm. These folks, they're no different than you and me.
Right.
The only difference is they had a dream, and they never quit on their dream and never took no for an answer. And you know what? That gave me all the incentive in the world to say to myself, hey, I might never direct ET2, but I'm going to have my own success in life.
Right.
And I was able to parlay that, Ray, right, John, into videos and books and television shows by watching and listening. I wasn't trained at doing this. I'm not a kinesiologist. I'm not a doctor. What my secret power is, and Ray, you have a secret power, John, everyone has a secret power. Mine is the ability to motivate, to inspire you, to get you down to do more today than you did yesterday, but not as much as you'll do tomorrow.
Right.
And with that motivation and inspiration comes the ability through a push-up and a sit-up and a bicep curl or a front punch. If I can do this, what else can I achieve in my life?
Wow.
And it's this upward spiral of success that I built and learned from all these great people to build my own career. And I learned to be a good listener, boys. I think of all of this, you know, we get excited. We talk. Ray, you're a superstar, what you've done. John, I watched you all the time on the science stuff that you have. I mean, amazing. I can't believe you never called me to do anything, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it later.
You know, and I got to bust balls a little bit. Easy.
That's okay.
Right, you know, but it's what it amounts to is we all have the ability to do whatever you want in your life as long as you believe, because success is failure turned inside out. And Ray, and you know this as an athlete, man, you know, you don't win every game. You don't make every play. No. But it's how you get back up, and how you persevere, and how you make that next move the best move.
And I love that, Jake. One thing that seems to be the common thread between I've had the great fortune of working with, you know, the world's greatest athletes, you know, Ray Lewis included. The biggest thing is having the courage to take that first step, to move. Yes. And I was talking about at the top of the program, what makes you move? When people get up from the couch and they go to the refrigerator and they, you know, get some cheesecake and they come back to the couch, what motivated them was, for lack of a better word, a sweet tooth. That motivated me. That the inverse of that, of having that burn inside your body and, you know, grabbing a piece of celery versus cheesecake. How do you message to people the thoughts that you have manifest themselves in your body and create what you do in a day?
Look, you know, it's about sort of changing the mentality, but that comes over time. That's about a lifestyle change. That's why there's a million fad diets out there, and people come and go, and they'll lose 5 pounds and 10 pounds or 18 pounds. Listen, I will tell you this story, a very personal one. My mom had been very overweight her whole life. And she got, you know, kidney failure, and she's been on dialysis and all this kind of stuff like that. And her doctor called me one day and said, you know, Jake, we could put your mom in a facility to have her lose some weight. And my mom had lost, you know, 1.5 zillion pounds over the course of her life. And I thought, you know what, she'll definitely lose some weight. But, you know, when you're in an environment, and Ray, you know this, when you're in training camp, right, no matter what, you're going to stay fit. You're going to get in shape because there's someone watching you every day. If everybody in this great country of ours had a trainer and a coach with them day and night and a nutritionist, there'd be a much better shot of being successful. Yeah. Now, John, to answer your question, it's all about here. It's all about you having to believe in yourself. Now, what I did with my mom, very simply, I couldn't believe that this happened. Nothing was working. Nothing was working for her. And it's hard for your own mom. You know, you're not going to try to say, Ma, listen, when you're not in shape, when you're overweight, you see that. You look at yourself in the mirror and you see that. No one has to tell you, guys.
Right.
So what I did was this. My mom loves my kids, loves my children. So I went to her house. I put a picture of my 4 kids on the fridge. True story, man. In 16 months, she lost 100 pounds.
Wow. What?
I'm telling you, by walking and swimming on her own. I had nothing to do, nothing. It's about you. It's you believing, right? It's success is failure turned inside out, right?
Yeah.
And I talk about this. So we talk about overcoming adversity. Ray, on this show, you talk a lot about overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
There was, you know, we all have our moments. We talk about life's about moments. Like we said, some are great, some are not so great. In 8th grade, I went out for my basketball team. Man, I was a great basketball player because my mom said, "You're a great basketball player." Of course you are. Right. And, you know, I went out and I got cut from the team. And it's a pretty devastating feeling, man, when you're a kid and you get cut. And a friend gave me a poem called Don't Quit. True story. And now, guys, I was not a school. I'm 14 years old. I'm not much of a student, man. And I sure as heck wasn't a poet. And for some reason, I didn't throw the poem out. I'm going to pull this over here, guys, because I'm 62 now. This is the poem that was given to me. Here it is.
Really? Wow. In the 8th grade?
You can't even see Don't Quit on the back. And on the back, look, the stains, this is all, my name is on the back. I'm just telling you, man.
Do you want to know what's crazy? So here,
What?
let me tell you what's crazy. My mom gave me the poem Don't Quit. I've memorized it. I won't go through the whole thing, but when things go wrong, sometimes the road you're trudging seems all uphill.
It's all uphill, when the funds are low, the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometime learn. And many a failure turn about when he might have won and he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. And guys, that became a Bible verse to me. And in 1981, I trademarked the words, "Don't quit." And when Ray said in the opening of the show, "What are you working on?" Look, we can't, the big elephant in the room is, we cannot talk about the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of challenging times. But I look at challenges, Ray, as an athlete, John, what you've done in your life, and people need to see in chaos, there's opportunity.
Major opportunity.
Major opportunity. There's no reason to roll up in a ball. Look, everybody has their moments, man, of not feeling great. That's why we train. This is my thing. I'm in the gym at 3:45 a.m. every 6 mornings a week. And I do a 42-minute workout. I'm a psycho. I'm sorry. But, it's 42 minutes. And it's a cardio and a muscular workout that I blended together. Old school Ray, chest and tries, Monday, Thursday, back and buys, Tuesday, Friday, shoulders and legs, Wednesday, no, not so much legs. I'm a guy from New York. I got no shirt on. I wear the dungarees, Right. So, but the whole idea of my workout, though, is it's both a mental and a physical workout. And what I mean by the mental or psychological is that every repetition that I do, I visualize what my day is going to be like. So with every set that I do, I've accomplished the task of whatever the day is. Now, Ray, you and I go back a long way, so I didn't play out this interview the whole way, but I didn't know what I was going to say. I just said, okay, I know Ray's a motivator, Ray's an athlete, so we'll talk about these kinds of things. So through my workout, I kind of visualized the interview, and then I've got 4 or 5 more of these during the day and a bunch of meetings. So by the time my workout's over, I not only accomplished what I needed to do physically, but mentally, I played through the day.
Absolutely. It's actually something that I practice a lot, right? So everything you're saying, and so that's why this is so good, Jake, because the mentality, right? The mentality decides how long and consistent you stay stuck in your routine. Yeah. Right? We just talked about it, right? Sustained success. If you want to make you really want to piss your haters off or somebody who told you that you could not do something, right? Yeah. Become successful for a very long time. But mentally, you have to buy into that. Because if you don't buy into that, every day of your life, you go like this. It's a roller coaster. You up.
But wait. But if you don't buy into it, how is anybody else going to buy into you?
They can't.
So,
people
John, whether it's what you're doing,
because you buy into them.
That's it. And the world lets you be what you make them believe you are. The world lets you be what you make them believe you are. Yeah. And that is the essence of what success in my opinion, is because, and look, we all have different versions or different meanings of what success means to each of us. Yeah, it's, a lot of people think it's the money. Listen, dough is great, but there are so many different kinds of success: family, self-worth, friendships, right? Doing the right thing. And I know you do so many things, we could talk about that. But for me, I've always been about everything I've done in my career has revolved around three things: hope, health, and family. So every product that I created, every business that I got involved in, and everything I tried to do has those three things: hope, health, and family.
Jake, let me tell you something. So this is why I want to go, because I want to use the hope, health, and family. And you have a new product that's just hit the market.
Yeah.
You just partnered with Walmart, right? And explain this new protein drink. And you did not want to do a regular protein drink, so you did something that works.
He's changing. He's transforming.
No, but that's what, I've always tried to, as an entrepreneur, I love taking the road never traveled. Yeah. And doing those kinds of things, man, a lot of bumps and bruises, but that's what, man, it's about the action. It's about the energy. That's the beautiful thing about life, is getting out there and taking shots. It's taking, you go to the racetrack and you play the favorite, the best you're going to get is $2 back on your $2 bet.
Yes.
I'd much rather roll the dice
and go all in
and take a big shot every single day. If you're going to get up in the morning, you might as well win.
Yeah,
and and my life has always been about taking these shots. I was the first guy to do personal fitness training and made it an occupation. I launched the first fitness television network called Fit TV, which I sold to Rupert Murdoch, and then launched the first on-demand fitness television network called Exercise TV. Actually founded Major League Lacrosse for another time and another story. But now got very, very involved in youth sports. I launched the World Series of Youth Lacrosse 7 years ago, and we're going to launch the World Series of Youth Hockey and World Series of Youth Rugby. Great moments and memories for families. But I'm also about nutrition. Mm-hmm. And I've never been a vitamin guy. And Ray, you and I talk about this.
Yeah.
John, I was never a vitamin taker, and all the years of me doing my infomercials with all the fitness products, all these companies would come to me about continuity, which is, Jake, how would you like to put your name on some vitamins or this? I go, you know what? I can't sell something if I don't use it. Right. And I never took. Now, people say I left a lot of money on the table when it came to vitamins, but I never took them, so I couldn't sell them. But what I've been doing my whole life is I love protein shakes. Back in the earliest of days with that white powder, man, and the milk, it was like cement, right? You remember that stuff. You said try to.
Hey, don't leave me out of this. I'm telling you, I had to drink those.
Okay, so maybe you put a couple of eggs in there too. It was like Rocky style, man. It was tough to take down, and all my kids too, since they were little, I used to make, and still do. They're all home now. I make my magic drink, and I've been doing it since they were little kids. And a couple of years ago, I started thinking about this protein shake world. And I try everything. When I go to a supermarket with my kids, we try all the bars, we try everything. And everything tasted like shit. It was terrible. And no matter what the brands were. Now, there's an opportunity, as I said, I'm 62 now, fellas, and there's a world of people over the age of 50 years old. Look, when we were growing up and we were hanging out, boys, and we said, Ray, so how old's your dad? You would say 62. It's like, geez, that's an old guy. It's like, wait a second. I'm 62 now, man. That's not good. I feel like I'm 21. So there's a big world of people, over 120 million Americans over the age of 50 years old, who are active, 60s, 70s, right? There's this category called adult nutrition, which I hate the name of the category. It sounds like an adult diaper.
That's fine.
But it's adult nutrition, and there are two brands in there, Boost and Ensure. God bless. But you know what, man? look at the ingredient panel on those products. They're garbage. They're garbage. Wow. And people, and I said, if you're going to do something, don't just do it to do it, do it to win. And I wanted to create the first clean label nutrition shake, the actual shake, to make it a clean label nutrition shake. So no soy, no corn, no wheat, gluten-free, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, kosher. And by the way, it's got to taste delicious. This is it, guys. This is our original flavor right there. Don't quit. I'm going to give you a pick. There it is, right? 26 vitamins and minerals. This is Orange-sicle, right? I'm old school, man.
Orange-sicle was my favorite.
Look at that.
There it is. Orange-sicle was my favorite, man. Creamsicles from Good Humor, forget about it, man. Forget about it,
I love that.
So 26 vitamins and minerals, 10 grams of protein, and now we have a max version of 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, right? Which is terrific, and chocolate and vanilla. This is we got our original in Orange-sicle, chai tea, chocolate and vanilla. And we just launched at Walmart right now, guys, where we just introduced strawberries and cream.
Congratulations, man. That's big.
Wow, that's awesome, Jake.
And you can look and check it out at don'tquit.com. And our Instagram page is Official Body by Jake. I saw it come up on the screen. And look, as I said, guys, what's important is that we've got to try to make this place better, right? We live in a great country. Giving back is a big part of what I do. I know you do, Ray, and I'm sure you do, John. I've been chair now of the National Foundation for Governors Fitness Councils. This is my 9th year. I put fitness centers in elementary and middle schools around this great country of ours. And it's just been outstanding. This year, so each year I choose 4 states. And I call governors cold. And I've got $300,000 of brand new $100,000 Don't Quit fitness centers. And so this year we did Alabama with Kay Ivey, Oklahoma with Kevin Stitt, Indiana with Eric Holcomb, and Andy Bashir in the great state of Kentucky. And normally I would travel to these places, but we did first virtual ribbon cutting tour. Now, the schools got the fitness centers, $1,200,000 of fitness centers we distributed. And I've been very blessed with companies like Coca-Cola, Anthem, Nike, and Wheels Up have been great to me.
They go to Don't Quit right there.
There it is. That's it. That's
it.
Yeah. You just go to don'tquit.com, and there's a great, actually a store tracker. So if you don't want to order online and you want to go to a Walmart, or if you live in anywhere around the country, Ralph's or Kroger's or Fry's, King Super, we're all over the place now, and it's it's been very exciting, boys. It really is, and it's awesome to be here with you, men.
I'm not a chocolate flavor guy, but I'm gonna send you my address, and I'm gonna need boxes of those.
I need boxes of the orange cream.
Orange-sicle, baby. This is it. This is it.
That's what I need.
Let's go. What am I doing here? There it is. Orange-sicle. And you know what, though, too, Ray? Because you're all about this, right? And, John, open the fridge up in the morning. And, John, you said, like, when you go to the fridge, open the fridge and look at those 2 words. Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
It's my motto. Don't quit. No excuses. There is absolutely none. Jake, listen, man, I know you're a busy man. You got a lot of things going on, but the knowledge, and me and John do this every week, and the knowledge of friends, of people that I've known for years, and to consistently see you do this over and over again, Jake. Sustain success, right? The legacy that you've left. The conversation that we was talking about earlier, you sitting down and having these business conversations with your kids now around the table, right? And
it's awesome.
Instead of the regular, social media.
No, but like we were saying, man, it's to be able to have, and by the way, like we said too, it's a pandemic. To take this time. We're never going to get this moment again with our children.
Never.
Who are here with us, converse, communicate, listen. You know, that's what makes it all so exciting, man. And we're sitting around a table, like we said before we got on, and, you know, my kids are pitching me business ideas. We're talking about the stock market. It was like, wait a second, you guys were little midgets a couple of months ago, man, and now you're grown-ups. And it's, I mean, it really is. And it's great to share these stories, especially with fellas like you who are so positive all the time. And, you know, you talk about sustained success. It's, to me, in my life, it's about, and for everyone's life, to reinvent yourself. Always be who you are. The core is always you. But, you know, it's fun to put on a different uniform every now and again.
Absolutely.
You know,
it takes courage. It takes courage.
Right? Heck yeah, it takes courage. Jake, you're a rock star. You are. We have a lot of things to do. Me and you we're gonna pick back up on some stuff that we need to do together. And let's do it.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now on the air. Both of you guys would love you guys to do. We're launching a new podcast too. It's kind of a fun one, and it was inspired at Lanesby that we were talking about our kids. You know, as much as I love my kids and they love me, our kids don't listen to us, no matter what we say. Right?
That's true.
They don't listen to us with all the. So what I did, and this is a quick one, and then we can roll out, is when my oldest son graduated from school, I set up 5 meetings with him with friends of mine who run companies around different kinds of companies around the country. And I asked each of my friends, I say, Ray, do me a favor. John, do me a favor. Talk to my son, Nick. Don't give him a job. Just give him some inspiration. Give him some knowledge. Tell him a story about overcoming adversity or something like that. And inevitably, Nick would come home and say, Dad, I spoke to Mr. Lewis, and he said that this, and this. I go, you're kidding. Have I not been telling you this since you were 9 years old?
20 years.
You know,
yeah, Dad, but it's different.
So it's different. So I decided, you know, if I'm going to do a podcast, I want to do something interesting. So what I'm going to do, and what I'm doing, and what I've done already, because we laid down a bunch of shows, and you guys are going to come on, I talk to my friends, and we talk about, you know, lessons their parents told them that they rolled their eyes at, and lessons that they have told their kids, and we can share stories because especially right now, it's a lot of parents out there. There's a lot of challenges, and a lot of people are feeling down. And I'm always saying, how can we lift people's spirits? And it's with knowledge. You talk about it a lot, Ray and John, and that's what we want to be able to do. And the show is called Don't Listen to Me.
Yeah. I mean, the kids have been, that's amazing. You know what? That is unbelievable, Jake. And I love that idea. And I can't tell you the number of times I've had to say something to a friend of mine and say, go tell my son that. Go tell them.
Well,
that.
Listen, and I've had some great, so, you know, we're going to launch in January, but I've had some great guests of friends of mine, everyone from my pal Harrison Ford, Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy Chong, Ted Leonsis. I mean, people from all walks of life. Yeah. It's been really kind of interesting. So I want you guys to come on.
No, we're on.
Tell some stories, man. It would be awesome.
It's easy.
That would be amazing.
We'll make it happen. Jake, listen,
you guys
you're
are the
a rock
best.
star. You're doing amazing things. So good to connect with you again, brother. Thank you so much. The motto is simple: don't quit.
Don't quit.
Don't quit, man. God bless. God bless.
Bless you, brother.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Jake.
See you, fellas.
Wow, Ray.
JB.
What a way to start the day, right?
Come on, boys.
Yeah. JB, what a way to start the day, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, right, that we keep discussing like sustained success, right? But what everybody's plan, right? And he said it earlier, right? Everybody had a dream, right? And so this is to people who don't have a dream. That in order to guarantee your success, you must have a dream. But dreams comes from an imagination. You have to see outside of your comfort zone of everything we're dealing in, right, JB? It's like it's everything I'm talking about. Like, let's check in right quick, right? Because it kind of goes into some stuff that I've been like kind of like dealing with and really like what's been going on, right? Because Jake hit on it, right? There's so much going on. There's parents that can't communicate with their kids. There's people that can't communicate with people. There's white that can't communicate with black. There's all of these different issues that people can't communicate with each other. But if we started to communicate with people, listen to me carefully, of successful people, not successful because they make money. We spoke about this, but successful because they make you want to be a better person. I'm telling you, I've been at this last week or two, man. I have ran into some really interesting conversations of the 1%, the 5% of this world on how they think in a time of tragedy, in a time of a pandemic. Here is the truth. More than ever, and what people need to realize, you are the sum of what you think, of what you do, and who you're with. Like that, just add all those things up, and that is you. And you can say, nah, that's not me. Oh, I hang out with, person X, and yeah, I know they're doing drugs and whatever, but I don't do that and whatever. Like, listen, if that's the best way to spend your time, that is how you're going to be judged. And and that's how not only people are going to see you, but the way that you're going to see yourself, whether or not you're in denial or not. I keep telling everybody, listen, when everyone's like, oh my God, Ray Lewis, he's the greatest linebacker of all time in the NFL. I'm like, yeah, he is. You want to know how he became that? Because he never said, I'm the greatest linebacker and I'm cool with that and I'm fine. He always was reaching higher and higher and higher and higher every single day. That's the way that you need to live, is you want to do better. You want to strive higher. And in a time like this, when everything is crazy, Ray, and people are like, oh my God, I don't know. Stop, think, one action, one breath, one thought at a time. What should you do next? What is going to help you? What is going to help the world? Period. Just be simple. Keep things simple. Man, that's why these thoughts are so good. Listen to my thought of the day, JB.
Go on.
I'll be working on it, JB. The thought of the day is facing discontent with optimism. It's time to go to church a little bit. JB,
go to church.
You got to go to church, because sometimes a lot of people see discontent, right? Because their environment is shaking and it's not what you want it to be. But if you ever figure out optimism, to become optimistic about what you can do in a time of pain or trauma, oh, JB, that's where your greatest ability comes from. Your greatest ability comes from when you look at discontent and when you say, wait a minute, I see something a little bit different. If you use discomfort to create the best version of you, baby, I used it my entire life. And now I use discomfort. I told you, a lot of people know I use discomfort on a freaking cycling on a bike right now. Because the only way to become a best version of me is I must go 60, 70, 100 miles. And times when I feel like I'm about to pass out, stop complaining. And then Jake says, don't quit. Right? Mine is no excuses. But I'm just
I love the idea, you have to be uncomfortable. Listen, if you were comfortable your entire life, if you just sat back and said, like everything is great, that's called having a silver spoon. Right? Like everything is then somehow being provided for you. Thank God we have free will and that we can move. And I started at the top of the show. What makes you move? What creates movement? Thoughts create movement. What are those thoughts? Examine those thoughts. And when you're uncomfortable, get this. Here's a radical idea. If you don't like where you are in your headspace, your physical space, wherever, then move. Move.
Change your crowd.
Change.
Something has to change. That's right. That's why
those people. I look on Instagram all the time, and I don't look at Instagram.
Look at Instagram.
How about look at
disconnect from it?
Yeah.
Right.
That's simple.
Listen, that's why. Listen, dissatisfaction is the catalyst for great and positive change. Because what I don't like, when I'm dissatisfied about something, I promise you, I'm gonna be the first one to remove myself from those situations.
Totally.
And without hesitation. You understand? Because that's the thing, right? Some people get so comfortable that they will take and they will compromise 99% of their life, knowing that they're dissatisfied in where they are, but they never use it.
It's true. People, when the expression "misery loves company,"
it does.
There's a very strange gravity to misery. And especially now in the crazy times, you're finding people who want to huddle together and just complain. And that's listen, that doesn't do you any good other than identifying how miserable you are. If you don't want to complain, you want to change the narrative in the conversation, you got to move on. It's that simple. You can't lay on the field, Ray, and say my leg is broken, my leg is broken, my leg is broken. No. You got to get off the field. Go somewhere else.
Get off the field.
Get off.
Get off the field. Hey. JB, listen, that's why I'm telling you when you went down, right? That's why discontent, right? Discontent leads to development when the right ingredients are added.
Where are you coming up with all these?
Oh, JB, I'm telling you. JB, I got up this morning. I'm trying to say. I got somebody behind the scenes, and I'm just the deliverer. I'm just delivering the message.
You're a vessel. You're a vessel.
I'm just a vessel, JB, and I'm just telling you because people think that being discontent and they don't understand what development is. But when you add the right ingredients, when you add the right prayer life, when you add the right life of meditation, when you add the right life of writing everything down, when you add the right friendships around you, when you add JB, when you stir up that pot, when you see mama in the kitchen cooking, and you always used to ask mama, what you putting in there? She's always say, that's my secret sauce. Mm-hmm. Right? Mamas would never tell you their secrets, but I'm going to tell you the right ingredients to life. The right ingredients to life is having the right crowd mixed in your dinner. It's having the right positive affirmations in your spirit every day. To get up every day and challenge yourself, not just to sweat, but to challenge yourself every day. You know, it's something really interesting that I did and I do every day of my life. If I don't change, listen to this. When I get to a certain point in my day to where I think it's easy, I change it. Because I don't like the rest that much. And it's a problem of mine, right? Because discontent, I want to see how do I develop something out of this? How do I take something else and add it? And people say, why do you write down things so much? Why do you read so many different books? See, when you add all of those ingredients, right, you ain't got time to be discontent, JB, and you ain't got time to be letting your environment dictate how far you go or who you hang out with or where you trying to go in life. And that's why I think until you take control of your own life, you truly add these ingredients every second, every day of your life, it's going to be very hard for you to find peace.
I'm going to tell you, Ray, a lot of people, and I'm a big believer, there is no one right religion. I believe in that. Now, I'm just going to, with that being said, I'm going to tell you, I'm Catholic, I'm Christian. I'm telling you my ritual that works for me physically and mentally. When I get out of bed, the first thing I do, I pray.
Absolutely.
I get out of bed and I kneel. And the reason why it's so powerful for me is because I don't want to stay kneeling all day. I want to kneel. I got to stop. I got to pause. I got to think. And then you got to get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Like, that's why kneeling is powerful to me, is because you can't move while you're kneeling. And in order to make progress, you got to get up. So when I ask God for the strength and the wisdom to recognize the positive energy and what path I should be going down, I get up and I move. That's why it's powerful for me.
And everything that you're saying, listen to me, rounding this thing up, right?
Rounding it up.
Everything that you're saying is found in this one thing, right? A great attitude will elevate us when we add action. A great attitude, the mentality to fall on your knees, to know that you got to get up. That's why you got to stay optimistic, because you have to find out every day what motivates you, what makes you move. You asked the question at the beginning of the show, what makes you move? I keep telling people, don't listen to this show unless you really want to change.
That's
if you're
right.
really looking to change, come find. Listen, everybody has, and you just said it, everybody has their own thing. You're Catholic. I was raised Baptist. I'm non-denomination, right? I love God with all of my heart, right? And the principles and your principles and whatever it is, mine aligns with yours. Before bed, after bed, prayer, get up, get moving. And when my feet hit the ground in the morning, I say, oh boy, buckle up. Because my attitude has created a lifestyle that leaves me no room to stay stagnant.
Yep.
You gotta move. And the question is, this week's question for any and everybody who's listening, what makes you move? And the people, listen to this, I've said this, and the people you following, I want you to ask yourself a real question. Write it down in many books and ask yourself a question.
Yeah.
Do they help you or do they hurt you?
They an asset or are they a liability?
Or they're a liability.
100%, right? Are they adding to your life or taking away?
That's what we are now.
Right. And you know what's interesting to me, what makes you move, let me just tell you this. The reason why that thought is sticking with me so much is it then asks the flip side of that, what makes you stop? What prevents you from moving? And you want to know what it is? Fear. Fear stops you dead in your tracks.
Fear, worry, stress, all of these things stops you at a dead halt.
Yeah. It's that simple. And you know, when you talk about attitude, people say, and I don't know why, people somehow think attitude is part of personality and it's something that cannot be changed. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Your attitude sets the perspective you have on the task ahead. That's what it does. Are you excited about it? Are you happy about it? Do you want to crush the day? What's your attitude going into it? That's going to affect how you think, how you move, how you act, what you say, what you do. It's that simple.
Your talent can open doors. Your attitudes keep the doors closed.
That is true.
That's because when people can work with the person with the right attitude, you'll always have, listen to this. Most people want jobs the rest of their life. You have the right attitude and the right perspective, you stop wanting the job because you now become your own owner. See, that's a different conversation.
Hold on. Oh, that was another mic drop right there. That was that's a mic drop moment.
That's where we are. That's where we are. Either you can wake up every day and be okay with going to somebody else's job every day, or you can take this time in a pandemic and you can become your own owner of your life, of your thoughts, of your action, of your legacy, of your life, of your family. You choose that. You choose that. And I'm going to leave you with this. The takeaways is simple. The takeaways is in any crisis, there's major opportunity. The takeaways is if you want to keep growing in life, listen to me carefully. If you want to keep growing in life, your attitude will not only keep doors closed, but your attitude will elevate you in places you never thought about. People will remember how you treated them before they remember if you gave them something to eat.
Ooh, wow. That is so true. That is so true, right? You know what? It's funny because I always said a good handshake and a smile goes a long way. Goes a long way.
My entire life, JB, I'm not exaggerating this. My entire life, I used to always ask dudes, dog, you don't floss? You don't floss your teeth? You don't want to keep your teeth clean and pretty? What about shaking a hand with a firm handshake? I mean, squeeze my hand. Don't just grab my hand. Right. Now look at me in my eyes, man.
Yep.
That foundation, listen to me, that foundation, since I was in the 9th grade, has never left me. JB, it'll never change. That's why when I smile because I got a lot of things to smile about. Right?
We do, man. We're all so blessed.
We all so blessed. But the challenge is, and this is why the ending of this, because this show I could be here all day. But the point is, like, if you're listening to this, what makes you move? That's the question. That's the question of the week. What makes you move? The second question of the week is, who actually motivates you? I want you to really slow down and listen. Anybody that's getting up every day, reporting the same news to you that's on every other channel, they cannot help you. They can only entertain you. The people that will impact your life is the people that step off of the wave of CNN and Fox and all of these things and got totally away from it and says, when you listen to what I'm telling you is, I'm not telling you to follow me. I'm telling you to listen to me so you can find a better you.
That's right.
That's why we do.
That's what we do here. And you know what, Ray? This has been a really special show. And I love doing it. You want to know what? And I mean this seriously. I love doing the show because it makes me a better version of me. Just listening to you and articulating thoughts. Listen, anybody who's watching, listening, if you don't feel like you're walking away a better person, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm telling you, if you just listen to this, you just heard Jake. And you want to know what you never heard Jake said? You never heard Jake said, you know what? I'm the greatest. And I stopped there at being great. He always was like, don't quit. Got to reinvent yourself. Got to keep going. Got to move forward. That's what the show is all about.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Listen, man, every week is a blessed week. Every week is a beautiful week. The thoughts are simple this week, but because of where we're going as a country, it's time to make a hard pivot. And the pivot is now. And the pivot is, it's time to do a real self-evaluation on what you want to do in life and how you want to be viewed in life. That's right? And I'm going to give people examples of what motivates me every day. What motivates me is my family. What motivates me is my hope. My faith in the Lord motivates me every day of my life. What motivates me every day is every day I get up and I get a chance to change at least one life a day. JB, the people, I can't record the things that I'm doing right now because it's all purpose driven. What I'm doing in isolation right now, I don't need to put it on Instagram. I don't need to put it on Twitter. No, the people that I'm touching right now, the only difference is they open up their hearts and they change the people that they was listening to and following. And now they have an opportunity. No excuses. Jake said, don't quit. John says, what makes you move? Take these lessons this week and don't just listen to them, but exercise them. And when you do, don't look for somebody else's approval. You'll know how to judge yourself. Once again, another amazing show. JB, John Brenkus in the building, the mastermind of sports science. No excuses, always dropping knowledge. The Ray Lewis Show doesn't get any better. Thank the back office, everybody who helps puts this together. It's absolutely amazing. Have an amazing week. JB, I appreciate you, brother.
God bless everybody.
I'm a better man. I'm a better man today because of this conversation.
Amen.
Bless you, brother. Take care, man.